Hi everyone, it's my second attempt at this video. I tried at 6 o'clock, didn't get very far. I'm back now, so if you want to join me, that'd be great. If not, and you're going to join me later on, that's fine too. I'm not going to spend long. I've got 10 minutes before I want to go home. I've been here early this morning, so I'm just going to discuss with you today my best tips of my 10-year experience in what to actually do when life gets in the way of your training. And by life, I mean things such as, okay, we've got on the list, family. Family life's really important, and I know sometimes people prioritise that and have to prioritise that. Kids, for me, it definitely gets in the way of what I want to do. If I decide to stay and train late, I'm going to miss my kids going to bed. In the morning, I have to get up early, go to work, and I miss seeing the kids. So any bit of spare time I've got to prioritise. Do I want to see my kids first, or do I want to train first? Dogs. Sounds daft, but some of my clients will say to me, well, I've got to go home, I've got to sort the dog out after work, and blah, blah, blah. It does get in the way. It's about mates definitely get in the way. My mates definitely got in the way this weekend in Ibiza of my goals and my targets and my fitness plan. I've got work. Everybody knows that work gets in the way. It's the biggest number one excuse that people use with me when we're discussing what gets in the way, whether they have to be at work for whatever reason. I'm going to go through the different reasons later, but they're all about the same. They're all the same sort of thing. Work's just one thing that can get in the way. Illness gets in the way quite often. People become ill, especially when you're starting a new training plan. I don't know if you ever noticed, you go onto a new program, new diet. If you haven't quite got the balance right, sometimes it's very easy for you to get run down and become ill, whether it's a cold, a cough, just feeling generally unwell, especially if you go into like something that might be low carb or the Atkins type thing. Not saying they're bad or don't work, I'm just saying that sometimes illness gets in the way of what you're trying to achieve. Cost can definitely get in the way. I know that we're quite expensive as a centre, so you think, we're not really. But cost gets in the way. If you've got a flat tyre and you need to pay for your gym membership and it's 180 quid for a tyre on your car and your gym membership's going to have to sacrifice, I understand that. Also the same sort of principle, you have something big coming up, a holiday, Christmas, whatever, cost definitely gets in the way of the type of food that you think you can go and buy from the butchers or whatever else. Sleep gets in the way quite often. I'm going to discuss that. I'm going to discuss how we can deal with not sleeping very much, or how we can maybe best use our time to sleep and different methods around that. Injuries, we've got a couple of clients that's had injuries and found it really hard to motivate yourself. That definitely gets in the way, and that's all of it. So just a quick recap on the things that get in the way: family life with kids, partners, dogs gets in the way, mates, work, illness, injuries, sleep and costs. So what I'm going to do now is just have a quick 5 minutes trying to discuss the best things that you can be doing. Hiya Janet Fowler. The best things that you can be doing to try to avoid this and get around it, alright? Some of the issues that I got when I did ask everybody this week, or earlier on today I should say, because I've just got back from Ibiza, what sort of things get in the way for them. This is what you come up with. You said to me that, my nutrition isn't very good, I'm getting stressed at work, if I go to a party, what do I do? If I'm at a work event and I go to a buffet lunch, what do I have? How do I go around that? My goals, sometimes they change or I don't achieve that goal. Things like weight loss is the most common one. Everyone sets out initially, I want to lose weight, I want to get to X amount of weight by X date. Well, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes things get in the way that basically mean that you can't achieve that initial target and goal set. Things such as time. How do you get around the fact that there ain't enough hours in the day? I think everyone that comes in says to me, I ain't got time to do that, or I ain't got time to do this, and I ain't got time to do that. What else have we got on there? Motivation. When all these things are happening, it's very hard. So for example, if you don't train in the morning because you haven't got time, then you miss your lunch because you haven't planned for your nutrition, or you've gone to the buffet lunch. If all these things are coming in together, how is it best that you guys can sit there and think to yourself, right, how do I stay on this fitness journey, this plan? Going out at weekend, having a social life. The reason I'm doing this video is because I've been on holiday twice in September. First time I set off, I went to La Palma with my family. It was a brilliant family time. When I got there, I decided that I was going to let my hair down. Hiya Glenn, I hope you're a bit more nice to me this time than the last video. When I got there, I decided that I was going to enjoy myself, I was going to enjoy my time with my family. All these things that get in the way in the first place, so kids, family life, being organised, having enough time at work. When you go away, when you go on holiday, that sort of thing shouldn't matter because you're away with your family to enjoy yourself. And I'm a strong believer in the fact that if you're away, and you're on holiday and you're there to relax, that has to be planned, that is the time that you do that. Have a beer, enjoy yourself, let your hair down, plan that that's what you're going to do. Let your hair down. That might mean you have to work hard before you go on holiday. It might mean you have to work hard when you get back. But the fact is that if you're for 9 months out of the year or 10 months out of the year working really hard in the gym and preparing that at some point you're going to go away, it doesn't matter whether or not on that holiday you're absolutely jack shovelly, but you go away, enjoy yourself, relax, recharge, or not recharge, or just let your hair down and come completely away from the plan. There's actually nothing wrong with that. What I always say to people is that we set off with a plan and a structure, and I always say that this is something that I'll swear a little bit, I'll get a bit told off when I do this. Piss poor planning is piss poor performance. My dad used to say that to me all the time, and I believe it's very, very, very influential in the way that we set out on our fitness programs. If you're going to have a look at your structure and your plan, you say, right, in week 1 this is what I want to achieve, in week 2 this is what I want to achieve, in week 3 this is what I want to achieve. If you can do it, or month 1, month 2, month 3, and you can plan it out, that's great. But any football coach, anyone that's been involved in any team sport or anything like that will always tell you that if you set off with a plan, a session plan, if you've done it, if you're a teacher, you've gone to a meeting, whatever that plan is, unless you're talking to a blackboard, it doesn't actually work. A plan has to be, personal training has to be done where you set off with a plan and that's your main focus. Don't get me wrong, your mesocycles, macrocycles, people might shout at me for saying this, but at the end of the day, that will change within, a day, 2 days. That first session when you plan to do a 60 kilogram squat, if your client comes in and they're tired, they're not doing a 60 kilogram squat, they might just get 50 that day. And what your job is, or my job is, to work out how to motivate that person to get the most out of them whilst they're there. So the things that's on the board, such as nutrition, sleep, stress, having a party, having a good time with your family, your friends and your kids, what I also want to do is try to get you to think about, if you're setting off with a plan and a structure of weight loss or muscle building and something changes, have you planned that day you're not going to be able to afford to go to the butcher's because your tyre might pop? And in that situation, what happens? If you can't have a PT session that day, what happens? How do I get into the gym? I just noticed Sue Astin just joined. Hiya Sue. And Sue's a perfect example of what I'm on about right now. About maybe 6 weeks ago, I'm not too sure, but about 6 weeks ago, Sue broke a bone in her foot, and it meant that a plan that Josh had delivered or designed for her the day before had basically gone out of the window 2 days before. Because remember that having the conversation with Josh, literally just went straight out a window within a day. Sue had to recover. She had to have 3 weeks off. I know that she adapted her food. You have to reduce them calories. You're not going to be able to eat the same, but plan B is always there. Soon as she couldn't come in and do squats, and I know you're still struggling a little bit with it, Sue, but she did get in the gym on her crutches. She got in the gym, she kept to the best routine that she could, and from our point of view as trainers, we're happy with that. And as in terms of measuring success, we have to look at that sort of situation and say, if someone's injured, or someone's got a problem, or someone can't afford the food, are they doing the best they can do in the current situation? So for you guys, if you're injured, or if you've got problems, or if you have to go away, are you picking, Andrew Horsfield, are you picking the right things up? Are you going to the shop before you go to the buffet? If you're working away, is there a Tesco's Express you can nip to and get some fruit, maybe get some porridge in a pot that you can make in the room before you set off? Are you doing as many things as you possibly can, or are you using all these things as just shit excuses as to why you're not sticking to the plan? Alright? Motivation's a massive thing, and when I say, oh, this is a crap excuse, sorry for swearing, but if I say this is a crap excuse for me, all it means is that I'm thinking that you're not planning around the possibilities of what potentially could happen. So if you're on a fitness plan and you're trying to lose weight and you injure yourself and you're told off your PT on day 1, right, you need to eat 2,500 calories, it'll help you lose weight because that's what you burn when you train 4 times a week, and then all of a sudden you don't do them 4 times a week. Guess what? You have to reduce them calories. If you're not doing as much in the gym, reduce your calories. You'll still get on track with your weight loss. You'll still be able to do it. If it's a strength goal, obviously you can't do stuff like that, but you can certainly work on other areas. So if someone, for example, is hurt the foot, like I was talking about Sue doing there, still come in the gym and do arms, shoulders and whatever else. It all depends on how motivated you are. If you're not motivated to get on track when something comes up, such as going to Ibiza over a weekend, I go to Ibiza, I can enjoy myself for 4 days, I'll come back and I know, right, today Jamie, you've got to diet, or at least recover and then diet, but you've got to diet, you've got to get back on track, you're going to have to work hard because you've just cocked it up. Whatever you did the week before you got up, you've got to be able to understand that that's okay and you can do it, or at least I think it is. It's okay, you can do it, you can get back on track and you work just as hard to get back to that point. If you decide that, I've been to Ibiza now, mate, feeling rough, I'm tired, I don't want to train today, and you don't, that's just a bullshit excuse of why you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve in the first place. Dean Overson, no, but I don't. Speaking of Ibiza, did you leave your tan there? No, but mine's not in a bottle. Right. So, I don't know if you can see this part of the board here, but what it says there is goals and targets, programming, planning and preparing, support group and structure. One thing that I think is massively important, even if you're not with us as a personal trainer, is your support group. What sort of people have you got around you to help you achieve whatever goal it is? For example, if I go home tonight and say to the missus, "Hey, sure, I've had a really shitty day, can we get something to eat?" And she says, "Yeah, let's get a takeaway," that's not really helping me with my diet. If she's on track with me as well and I say, "Sure, what we having to eat?" She says, "Oh, well, I've just had chicken and veg," I'm going to feel a bit bad sitting there eating a kebab. So what I'm trying to do is you've got to try to make sure that when you're planning what to do, firstly, the plan is important. You've got to get your goals set out in the first instance. Once you've had goals set, you've got to be able to adapt them goals. And then secondly, once you've adapted the goals, you've got your support group in place and your structure in place, then you've got to make sure that that structure and support group with yourself is supportive of everything. So if you get injured, they're going to help you out, taking you to the gym, or help you out with your motivation. Come on, keep it up, you're doing well, that sort of thing. If you're not, and you haven't got that sort of person in your family or in your house, you've got to make sure that you've got the person at the gym. Go and speak to one of the trainers. Make sure that your trainer's involved in your emotions and how you're feeling, because if you're not motivated to go to the gym and you're not motivated to get back on track as soon as you've been to it, if you don't book that session, or as soon as you've been on holiday, if you don't book that session and you don't do it, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to turn yourself out of that cycle and get yourself back motivated and get yourself back on track and get back eating healthily, get back into your training and things like that. So support group's really important. And my advice to you would be, if you're setting off on a plan, trying to achieve a goal, make sure that you've firstly done the plan. And once you've done the plan, prepare to fail as well, because every now and then you have to get called into work. I know a lot of you got your own business that come to FX and it gets in the way, you decide you're stressed, but always try your best. If you've got an excuse and it's really, really unavoidable, just write off that day, get up the following day and say, right, today's a different day. Don't dwell on it, don't put yourself down because you've not been in that situation. So if you're off plan at the minute and you're starting the 8-week challenge and you think, "Oh no, I've had a really bad first week, I'm not going to get anywhere," you're probably not going to get anywhere. You've got to get yourself back on the horse and get yourself back into it as soon as possible. And what I said earlier on to everyone that's just joined us is the type of things that go wrong with kids' work and things like that. My advice at the minute, and what I'm trying to put across to you, is that as long as you plan to fail, you're preparing that there might be something go wrong. You might not be able to get to the butchers, but you can switch your mindset to thinking that's not a bad day. I can get back on track, I can go and eat out, I can do what I want, but the day after I get back on track. For example, if you go out for a meal on a Saturday night and you get to this restaurant, you and your family's having a lovely time, and they come with a dessert menu. This is a common one that I get. And they come with a dessert menu and they're like, "Oh, I can't get a dessert, I've had a lovely night but I can't get a dessert. Tell you what, I'm going to go home." Why do people do it? I can't understand why anyone would. If they want something and want a dessert and having a good time, or want a drink and want a beer and having a good time, and seeing that as part of a longer term picture of fulfillment and happiness and all that sort of stuff, you've got to be able to go and enjoy yourself. If you do enjoy yourself on a night out or on a holiday or something like that, just make sure that you get yourself back on track the following day. Make sure that if you eat 400 calories, eat them 400 calories in the restaurant, drink them 400 calories, but get in the following day and burn an extra 400 calories by doing a walk for 2 hours or something like that. All right. If you can, if you can, have a look at the board. I don't know if you can see as well. We talk about things being SMART goals. If you've been involved in work or at school or whatever, SMART was something that gets drilled into you: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Some people say achievable. don't matter how you word it really. Them are sort of foundations and structures that you can set your plan upon, and if you're doing that and you have a good plan and a good structure, what I'm trying to say is it will never ever go wrong, because you're planning that actually my tyre might pop today, I might not be able to get to the gym, I might have to work away next week, but when I work away, my routine is get up in the morning, get up 5 minutes early, go to Tesco's, get myself a little pot of porridge or something, and it's better than going to get the sausage and egg McMuffin from the butty shop. Alright, if anyone's got any questions on the video, just comment below and I'll try and answer them the best I can. But for me, for now, I'm going to be going on a stag do on Saturday. I've got a wedding at the end of the month. I'm going to enjoy my September, but I would like everyone in October to join me if possible in Stoptober. I know a couple of the members have signed up already. I'm not going to drink in October after the 1st. Unless I get a proper good pass and there's something really special going on, but the majority of October I'm going to try my best not to drink, and I want as many of the clients to join me as possible. It'll fit in well with the 8-week challenge. If anyone's on the 8-week challenge, if you set your goals, is that something that you could possibly do in October? If it's not, alcohol and you don't drink anyway, can you do it for chocolate? Can you do it for smoking? Is there something that you can stop in October? And let's give ourselves a little bit of a push for Christmas. We've only got 8 weeks now. Until I think the Christmas parties start, probably a little bit less actually, probably nearer 7. Christmas parties will be coming around the corner very, very soon, and you want to be able to fit in that dress as best you can, or good in that shirt. Alright, Chris Dougie Dugdale, I won't have a drink to. Is that a pinky promise? Okay, anyone else? No? Okay. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for watching, bye bye.